How many of you have been in a locker room? Raise your hand, show of hands. How many of you have been in a professional locker room? Show of hands. How many of you have dropped a microphone in front of 70 naked men in a locker room? I knew I had you there. So this is what happens. I'm in the locker room. I've been rejected 500 times. Can you imagine? But this is my dream. I want to be in this stinky professional locker room. Why? Because I want to know what makes these athletes tick. I want to know what makes an owner do the things that he does to drive a team, to build a bigger house. Obviously money, but there's pride and so much more involved in that. I wanted to know all the minutiae surrounding sports. So 500 rejections for that moment where I dropped the microphone in the locker room, the Dallas Cowboys locker room, when it wasn't popular to drop a microphone. Now it's a verb, but it wasn't then.
Please welcome CNN contributor, syndicated NBC Sports Radio talk show host, Emmy-award winner, Kate Delaney.
Wow, again, is who or what equals why people buy. And ask the people around you. Start to write down the words people use to describe what you do. And you may find a little bit of gold in that you're not using now, and it may lead to bigger connections for you. And I certainly challenge all of you to do that.
You asked for my card. Hey, I have a meeting coming up. I gave you this card that had a crown on it, which I thought was brilliant. Sports Princess Speaks. And on the back, it says, you ready for this? The princess will see you now. Really, Kate? I thought that was my wow. Oh, I'm so proud of these cards. I'm not going to tell you how much I invested in these cards. Now, I do have my address on the back. Nowhere does it say speaker. Nowhere does it say branding. Nowhere does it say what I do. Just that I'm a princess? Well, as far as I know, Kate Middleton has that title, and I can't touch her in that category. So, goodbye, Sports Princess. And this is what I would encourage you to do if you have a label type card. I like to say, and this is kind of what I call back to, rip it real good, right? So I'm just going to rip this up, because that's what I did with those cards. My husband was very excited that we invested thousands in the Sports Princess brand. And so I realized that a wow is not a label.
So in stacking the deck, it goes back to a little bit of what I've thrown out here, meaning the people that you're around. You got to throw some of them out because they're not part of that deck that's a winning hand for you. If they're not encouraging you, if they're not helping you with what you have to go through, the tenacity, playing the long game, then they don't need to be part of your deck. It's a hard thing to do. It's something that Sarah Blakely told me. I think all the women, how many women know who Sarah Blakely is in the audience? Thank you, Sarah. Spandex Queen, Forbes 100, top 100, and her connection to sports, by the way, her and her husband and a few others bought the Atlanta Hawks. They're part of a conglomerate. And you know, Sarah now is a billionaire, but she started out with $15,000 that she had left in savings to try to make those Spanx, and she made it happen. And again, that goes to two of the things I said. And the third thing, she told me in an interview with Sarah, she told me that she really made sure she stacked the deck the best she could. She got the best advisors around her. She reached out to everybody she could to really, really come up with that product and nail it. And she did. And she called in a lot of favors. Sometimes when you stack the deck, you have to call in a lot of favors. My name's Kate Delaney, and I've invaded 780 locker rooms. They wouldn't let me in one. I challenge you to deal your own destiny.